Hi, Weather Joey here with your bottom of the South Island forecast updated for Monday, March 1st, 2021. This forecast goes out for the people of the future. People who I don't know, who I probably never know unless perhaps I come back as something and fly around or crawl around and see what you're up to. But anyway, you have the opportunity to look back in time at me and have a little bit of learn a little bit about what's going on in our weather in this time. Also goes out to the spirits and beings of the land, the ones that we spend time with, adding my little bit of something you probably know is coming along, but you may not, so I'm just putting it out there to help things along. Anyway. Before we get started, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the First Peoples of this land, the First Nations from North Sydney, North Saanich, all the way out to Souk, really, and beyond, for allowing us to live, work, and play on their beautiful traditional territories. Thank you so much. If we look back at last week, so the dominant player last week we were talking about was this high pressure here. Now, air going around high pressure this way. This brought in a pretty strong west-northwest to northwest flow. As we got into later in last week, Thursday and Friday, we saw lots of wind, lots of northwest wind coming along the coast. Big seas, big waves on exposed beaches on the west coast and down the Juan de Fuca as winds rushed down the Juan de Fuca. They rushed down the Strait of Georgia and really just hit the coast with lots of wind. Mix of sun and cloud, nothing too wet. Now, we thought on the previous forecast that we wouldn't see any moisture coming around into the weekend from around the top of this. Well, it so happened that we did see a system spinning across the Gulf or across Alaska, and the leading front of the system did edge through later in the day Saturday. So Saturday we started off quite calm as a little bit of high pressure went through, but as we got through the day, and even sunny on Saturday morning, a little bit of that remnants of that leading front came through overnight, dropping some rain overnight Saturday and into Sunday morning. Now, it wasn't a lot of wind or anything with it. In behind that, in the northwest flow, we saw a bit of a dry patch for Sunday. Now, the trailing trough of this low, trailing little front, that's what we're dealing with today, and it's not even much to deal with, really. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So this is Monday. This trailing little trough, it just came through as a trough, moving this way, little trough like this, and the leading front of that, or the trailing front, let's say, brought a bit of rain today to the North Island, a few sprinkles to the Central Island. This is going to move through overnight. Tonight across the south coast, I'm not seeing much in the ways of even a sprinkle as that moves through. It'll really have died out. In fact, right now it's a mix of sun and cloud, really quite a nice day. And so I'm calling March in like a lamb. Now, that's Monday. The big weather changer this week will be out here well in the Pacific. So, we had that high pressure. This high pressure is going to shift west over here. And I'm going to switch to blue chalk because what that will allow, what that's going to allow is low pressure up in the Bering Sea, up in Alaska, to drop down into the Gulf of Alaska this week and become the dominant player. And blue because it's cold air on the front side of this, or the back side of this high pressure, and this low pressure pulling all this cold air from the Bering Sea down and around, and this whole cold patch will be the dominant player in early March. So, where does that leave us for the weather this week? Tomorrow it leaves us with cooler temperatures because the leading front of this low pressure will be moving across the coast tomorrow morning. Now, I'm expecting some rain showers for the North Island, Central Island, but really, I don't think we're going to get them as far as the South Island. It looks like we'll be dealing with plenty of cloud, cooler temperatures, but I'm not expecting any showers for tomorrow. As we get into Wednesday, we see a little bit of a change here for us locally, but not out here. This continues to circle, cooler air coming up. This gets a little reboot Wednesday of frontal action along here. Now it's going to draw some moisture up across here. So we're seeing more rain in for Wednesday on the North Island. But down here, we've got a little warm patch of air down here over the continent. And this will actually bring it looks like it's going to bring us some nice dry weather and warmer weather for Wednesday, throughout Wednesday and into Thursday morning. Temperatures rising up here a little bit. Probably sunny for a good chunk of Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud, let's say. And sunny potentially into Thursday morning. And it's not until later on Thursday that changes. So I know this is a lot to sort of digest here, but as we get later into the week, this system will drop further down, still drawing this cold air. But this air, as it comes around, will get a chance to warm up as it comes in from the south. And we're expecting a major front to organize and come through over later in the day Thursday and throughout the day Friday. Almost like I'm not going to say a Pineapple Express, but a warmer track of air up here. Not as warm as it could be. Cooler than you would normally think from this direction just because of its source. But it will have a chance to warm up enough to bring rising freezing levels, rain fairly high up in the hills, so a little bit of a snow killer for early March as it comes in later in the day, Thursday and into Friday. Take a breather here. Okay, as we get into the weekend, this is where it changes a little again. It looks like another system will come around here, but this time a little bit shallower and spin up towards the coast here. So maintaining more of its cool temperatures. So it looks like this will push through with cooler temperatures for Saturday and Sunday and precipitation. So back to a real wintry feeling for next weekend. Beyond that, let's just let that hold for there. Stick with that. Yeah, and thanks for listening. It's my little bit to put out there. Hope you're all doing well in the future, treating each other well, and we'll do our best to treat each other well here and now. And as always, may the forecast be with you.